Now, this person was hard to find a lot of stuff about. The Honorable Queen Connie Matthews, Black Panther Party, International Coordinator, 1968 to 1971. Like I said, it's hard to find a lot of stuff about this person, but she was very, very instrumental in the Black Panther Party on the international side, sending the embassies in Algiers and stuff like that. In 1968, an articulate young Jamaican woman named Connie Matthews, who was employed by UNESCO of Copenhagen, Denmark, helped sponsor Bobby Seale's visit to Scandinavia. Afterwards, she became active in the Danish Committee for Solidarity with the Black Panther Party. Energetic and dedicated to the Black Liberation Movement, Connie became the international coordinator of the Black Panther Party in 1969. She spent several months visiting the Black Panther headquarters in the United States, coordinating activities between European Solidarity Committees and the Black Panther Party, writing for the Black Panther newspaper, and speaking at conferences. She briefly joined the Black Panther delegation to the Pan-African Cultural Festival. In the following November, Matthews returned to Algiers to collaborate with Cleaver on international activities of the Black Panther Party in Europe. Connie Matthews, a representative of the Black Panther Party in Denmark, spoke about the similarities between the situation that the Vietnamese people are in and the situation oppressed people in America are in. She said the struggle of the Vietnamese people is support for the struggle of the American Negroes. Both are fighting against imperialism. Both are denied their rights to self-determination. And the American imperialists use the same method to escalate the war between black people and USSA as they used against the Vietnamese people. Where are the Danish people in this fight, said Connie Matthews asked. Are you part of the imperialism? Are you members of NATO? And are you accomplices in the suppression of the people of Angola and Mozambique? You are here because you express solidarity with the Vietnam, but that's not enough. Power will come back to the people where it should be. But where is Denmark within this imperialism that is smashed? Connie Matthews, Black Panther Party International Coordinator from 1968 to 1971, is one of the most recognizable faces of the Panther Global Organization efforts in the United States, Europe, and Africa. We have to look at her vision, her success and failures during the international organization efforts and contextualize her life as part of growing up of a Black Power movement, which is not really talked about a lot. Like I said, it's a lot of information. It's not a lot of information. It's hard to dig up on this stuff on Connie Matthews, but we still dig and we still find. We still have more to drop. Now, Connie Matthews' first husband's name was Michael Tabor. On May 13, 1971, Mr. Tabor and his co-defendants were found now guilty on all charges of planning a bomb in department stores and police stations, train stations, and the New York Botanical Gardens in the Bronx, and the murder of police officers. Mr. Tabor, a captain in the New York branch of Panthers, was not in the state Supreme Court in Manhattan when the verdict was read. So eventually, him and his wife, Connie Matthews, fled and went to Algiers, where the Black Panther Party had an embassy. For the time, he and Mr. Tabor, were guests of the Algerian governments. Let's not forget, during this Algerian time, that the importance of Frantz Fanon, which is not talked about, who opened up Algiers so there could be a Black Panther International Embassy. Once you have an embassy, you basically your own country. And that's what basically we had from the Black Panther Party. For the time, Mr. Moore were guests of the Algerian government. Mr. Cray said they were eventually expelled. Mr. Tabor and his first wife, Connie Matthews, who had been the Black Panther Party International Coordinator, moved to Zambia in 1972. Mr. Tabor went on to become a writer in politics in numerous publications and even host a radio show. That's what we know about Mr. Tabor. But let's get back to Connie Matthews. Her, you know what I'm saying? Many people don't know that Connie died in a shootout. We don't know if the CIA killed her. I mean, we just know that she died in a shootout. They really don't say where. Some say in Jamaica, in her home country. Some say that, you know what I'm saying, that she died in New York City or whatever. But it's not really discussed about how she really passed away. And there's a lot more information that needs to be known about Connie Matthews and the work she done did. Like this article from the Jewish Telegraph Agency, May 4th, 1970, San Francisco. The Black Panthers have discarded their barely concealed anti-Semitism and insist in the past they were not against Jews, but only against Zionism. They are now declared that Judaism, Zionism, and racism are all identical. Connie Max, the international coordinator of the Black Panther Party, now blames the dwindling support for the organization since it took a hard stand on the support of Palestinian people's struggle on the fact that the white left in the USA is comprised mostly a large percentage of the Jewish population. Mrs. Matthews observed that since the BPP Stans, the white left, started floundering and became undecided. This leaves us with no alternative but to believe that a large portion of these people are Zionists and therefore racist. This venomous diatribe by Miss Matthews appears in the latest issue of the BPP official organ, the Black Panther, as evidence for the basic Jewish, Zionist, racist character of the white left. She notes that a Zionist judge, Julius Hoffman, allowed Zionist defendants in the Chicago conspiracy trial to go free while jailing Bobby Seale to 4 years for contempt of court. Other evidence cited by Mrs. Matthews is that it was a certain Zionist judge, Judge Freeman, who sentenced Huey for allegedly shooting a white policeman. Mr. Newton, defense minister, and Mr. Bobby Seale Huey Newton is a defense minister, and Mr. Bobby Seale is a BBP chairman. In this article, Matthews declared that other Zionists in Chicago conspiracy trial were willing to and did sacrifice Bobby Seale in his role of conspiracy to gain publicity. The BPP officially reiterates that the organization support for the Palestinian people's struggle against Israel imperialism and Zionism is aided and abetted by U.S. imperialism, and declared the one-eyed bandit from Tel Aviv, General Mossadegh, must be hunted down and killed. Mrs. Matthews does not elaborate further on this. In the Chicago trial, 80 persons associated or closely identified as leaders of the various New Left factions were charged by Chicago and federal law enforcement authorities for inciting young demonstrators to violence during the Democratic National Convention in 1968. The 8 defendants include Mr. Seale. During the hearing, however, Judge Hoffman and other Black Panther leaders to be sentenced separately from his co-defendants on contempt charges. Now, that Jewish question from the New Left that Connie Matthews rose up and spoke on, it caused a lot of controversy. Where the Jews had to try to put Huey Newton on the spot about what's this and what's that and blase speaking. You know what I'm saying? And it states, and I'm at another magazine written by the Jews, of course. You know, we however see that Huey Newton called that Israel be transformed into a secular people state instead of a religious state as one such cause somewhat disgusting. So when it came down to their freedom and they naturalized and stuff like that, they was not having that. They made sure that when they fought for their independence and they was doing Zionism and stuff like that, they made sure that it was not going to be a secular independent state. That was going to be a religious, Jewish, Zionism state. You know, another couple of things they said that the Algerian Liberation Front never called for the destruction of the state of France, and the Vietnam Liberation Front does not call for the destruction of the United States as a state, nor do the Liberation Fronts fighting against Portugal, Spain, West Germany, Great Britain, and other imperial states call for their destruction. Therefore, we deny the revolutionary character of those who in any way call for destruction of the state of Israel. So this is the Jews, and that's their response back to it, you know, to the Connie Matthews statement. And how that, when we notice around that time, that's when the Panther Party and the movement lost all its funding from there. So whoever controlled the money, when she hit on this topic of Jewish Zionism and the New Left being racist, and when Connie Matthews hit on this topic, all the funding went from the Black Panther Party and all other organizations. Hey, subscribe to the video. Much love to this ancestor, Connie Matthews, the Honorable Queen, International Coordinator of the Black Panther Party. And subscribe to the video. We got more black history on the way like this. Hey, peace and death to the right fakeness. Hold on.